score Kingdom FC 1, Newtown Pride FC 1. Fans looking at upcoming action on Field 3 in Group C matchups. From Necaxa will be taking on SLC FC. And coming up on Field 4 in Group D matchups, Culture by Mo Ali FC will be taking on Dallas United. Kickoff at approximately 11 a.m. for that Field 4 match. 5 between Kingdom FC and Newtown Pride FC. We are tied at 1 apiece in the 38th minute.
Yeah. You good? What time we started? Till 45? Yeah, that's yeah, yeah.
Don't forget, fans, on field 3 coming up shortly in a Group C matchup.
Necaxa. And then the other one is
Club Necaxa is taking on SLC FC. And coming up shortly on field 4 in a Group D matchup, Culture by Mo Alley FC will be taking on Dallas United.
and that's your player for Necaxa.
Fans, if you're just making your way in, we welcome you to the group stage action of the Soccer Tournament 2023 right here at Wakeman Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. This is a 32-team event with the top 2 teams from each group advancing on to our 16-team knockout tournament. Each of today's teams finds itself just 7 wins away from $1 million. And fans checking in on field 5 between Kingdom FC and Newtown Pride FC. We are in to target score time.
And the other team managed the goal.
Both teams are knotted up at 1 apiece. And with a target score of 2, it's next goal wins. Over on field 5. Again, that's Kingdom FC versus Newtown Pride FC. They're in target score time, knotted up at 1. Next goal wins. Fans, the TST rules are as follows. There is no slide tackling, no offsides, and we play 2 20-minute halves, followed by target score time. At the end of the second half, we set a target score by adding 1 to the leading team's goal count. The first team to reach that target score wins. During target score time, a player will be removed from each team every 5 minutes. Fans who update you in action that took place earlier today. Hoosier Army defeated Borussia Dortmund 5-2.
That's awesome, man.
That game was played this morning on Stadium Field 1.
Well, but they should have like. Can we should be able to,
Currently ongoing at Stadium Field 2, we have Far East United taking on West Ham United FC.
Here you go, here he is. Here he is. He has a black boots.
The soccer tournament, TST, is often run in here in Cary, North Carolina, the beautiful WakeMed Soccer Park, creating history today through Sunday as 32 teams vie for $1 million. Match 2, Group B, coming up next right here. Out of Liga Mexico, the top league in Mexico, Club Necaxa, who's also played a game here at WakeMed Soccer Park, taking on the club team a few years ago, will take on a team from Canada, SLC FC, right here on field 3. Necaxa led by a lot of players in Mexico, not necessarily all with Necaxa. One of those players is Javier Baez, as you see the group right there, Club Necaxa in this with a team from Tel Aviv, the team from Canada that will feature in this game, SLC FC, and a team from Virginia, the Virginia Dream. Teams from all over the world. It's kind of cool that the World Cup in 2026 will be in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada, and with that, kind of cool that Necaxa from Mexico will take on the team from Canada, Sports League Canada, SLC FC. Necaxa is the first Liga Mexico team to enter a team into the TST. It'll be a team of young players at the club combined with a few veterans. We'll see some veterans from some legendary programs like Chivas representing this team. The club was purchased in 2021 by a group that includes Mesut Ozil, Eva Longoria, Sean Marion, Justin Verlander, and Kate Upton. That's not bad. Necaxa has entered its 100th professional season, and the player that will spotlight off the top is Javier Baez, as Baez played for Guadalajara, Cruz Azul, Necaxa, and we tie him into the USA as he spent some time in the USL with the Austin Bold from 2019 to 21. So Javier Baez is one to watch, and another player to watch for them is Paulo Chavez, who had great success at Chivas. Meanwhile, we'll keep an eye on the goalkeeper right there, number 1, John Smits, for the team from Canada. He is from Canada, spent time with FC Edmonton, Montreal, and then part of the reason we wanted to say hello to him is he represented the Wilmington Hammerheads, which are making a comeback, and he was telling us yesterday how excited he is to be back here at WakeMed Soccer Park, as Wilmington routinely did play at WakeMed Soccer Park. He is currently with the Serbian White Eagles, and goalkeepers will make a big difference in this 7v7 format, as it's 2 20-minute halves, no offside, no throw-ins, just kick-ins, and every game ends in target score time. What does that mean? Well, we'll have the next graphic help walk you through what that means. So at the end of the game, if it's 4-2, the target score is 5. The first one to get to 5 wins. And a player will be removed if they play 5 minutes in the target score time period, to the point where if they got to keep going, it could end up even being 1v1, which of course we doubt that will happen, but it is worth noting. Target score time makes this TST, I think, even more fascinating, and revolutionary is kind of the word that I've been using as well. Delighted to be with you here for our coverage on YouTube and or Peacock. And Necaxa with the familiar striped red, as we will get you the starting lineups here before this one gets rolling. So a lot of red, the striped white and red for Necaxa, and then the full red for SLC FC. So starting lineup, you just saw Luis Robles, the goalkeeper, Michael Garcia, Jonathan Gonçalves, Fernando Lopez, Carlos Ramos, Jonathan Valdivia, and Jorge Pineda will start for Necaxa. Meanwhile, SLC will go with the aforementioned John Smits, Daniel Gogardi, Daniel Shamali, Abdallah El-Shanti, Jared Phillips, Miha Hodit, and Omar Marzouk. That's the starting lineup. Again, Necaxa in the striped jerseys, SLC FC representing the country of Canada right here in the inaugural TSC. The name SLC comes from the Sports League Canada, which is the premier adult soccer league in the greater Toronto area. This one is sent in the box for Necaxa early on. The roster here for CLC will consist of some of the best talent from the Canadian Futsal National Team and League One Ontario. The group of Canadians is planning on shocking the world en route to the $1 million winner-take-all prize. Tell you a little bit more about Necaxa. I mentioned their ownership group, which includes some American celebrities. This one's set in by SLC FC, one back by Necaxa. Drop back. Earlier we saw the Yita FC take down the Wolves, and part of the reason why is they play a lot of 7v7. They get it. Necaxa, by the way, is entering its 100th professional season and has spent 73 years in the top division of Mexican soccer, winning 24 domestic championships and 2 CONCACAF championships. The team representing this historic Liga Mexico side will look to capture the team's first ever 7v7 championship in the all-important TST $1 million. Life changers. We've heard a lot of stories on how it changed lives on the TBT side, and great to now see what is happening here in Cary, North Carolina, which what we hope will be the first of many, and perhaps they'll move locations, although I think WakeMed Soccer Park in the town of Cary have done an outstanding job. I told this story in the first game, and I'll tell this story a lot. In 2020, TBT fans and soccer players Mike Volk and Henry Tenbaum reached out to TBT founder John Mugar and suggested applying TBT's high-stakes open to model soccer together with Aleko Eskandarian, a name familiar to soccer fans. As you see scores atop the top of your screen, they got with co-founder Dan Friel. They agreed that a 7v7 World Championship would be unparalleled in its intensity, competitiveness, and skill level. And, of course, then with the added element of the target score to finish all games, it is a whole new level of excitement. This tournament is ostensibly sold out, short of about 400 tickets, and I think those may have even filled up based on what we're seeing out here. 5 fields underway, 3 outside of the main stadium, which hosts fields 1 and 2, and looks incredible. We are just outside the main stadium at our location here for 3. 4 is next to it, and 5 is a little deeper here, where they have 4 pristine grass fields, and then, of course, arguably one of the best fields in the world on the main stadium. SLC, off that free kick, gives it away. Necaxa will quickly head the other way. Necaxa spinning around with it. They go far side. Necaxa with those striped jerseys. A little bit harder to read the uniforms. Out for Necaxa, Sonny Guadarrama, number 33, not listed as being able to play. But 10 subs listed for Club Necaxa. Meanwhile, for SLC FC, they have 8 players available. They have 2 out. Joe Di Chiera and Vitali is out. This is dangerous here for SLC FC as it's sent behind. It'll go out of bounds, I guess, deflected, so it'll be a kick-in for the Canadian team. In many aspects, it's Canada versus Mexico on display in a tournament that has brought teams from all over the world and then also has a nice little hometown feel with NCFC entering a team, Charlotte entering a team, Raleigh entering a team, Duke entering a team. Of course, all of those teams really close to WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, and a lot of those teams have seen players run through WakeMed Soccer Park either as pros or during their college days, as this venue has hosted multiple college cups over the years. The Canadian team, and
Fans checking in.
it's Alyssa Nichols out of Tampa who is the referee.
In SLC FC,
And we've got a penalty kick already.
in the 6th minute.
So a penalty kick, the whistle there from Alyssa Nichols, and a big-time opportunity now for SLC FC to take an early 1-0 lead. Waiting on the whistle from Miss Nichols, and from the penalty spot, hammered home, and the finish coming neatly there for number 18. Number 10, rather, my apologies, as that's Danielle Shamal, as Danielle Shamal makes it 1-0. Well struck by the Canadian team, and SLC FC is on top 1-0. So now Necaxa down a goal early. We'll see how they respond.
We have a goal for SLC FC.
Necaxa is led by their player coach, Gerardo Castillo. He serves as the head coach for the team in the white with red striped shirts. Down 1-0. That one will go over Smits, who we highlighted in the open. So an early penalty kick whistled and an early penalty kick hammered by Shamal. Daniel, number 10, who's got the goal, has spent time with Futsal Club Toronto, Humber College, the Milwaukee Wave, and the Canada National Futsal Team. And he's been with that team for a long time, 2012 to 2023. And in many ways, the 7v7 model, as I talked about in the first game, models the indoor game and/or futsal in the sense of a smaller field and understanding how to use that smaller field. So clearly that experience could make a difference for this team from Canada. We've seen Dortmund go down to Indiana, and we've seen the Wolves go down to a collection of players primarily from the San Diego Sockers, but who have won a 7v7 World Championship back in 2019. So, again, those teams that have played the indoor game or futsal, the smaller-sided games, and that have been together for a longer time and not just assembled, which is another cool part of this story. A lot of these teams assembled with legendary names, and now it's a matter of just can they get their rhythm and make it work. Eight minutes in, they play two 20-minute halves. They do have added time, but based on the first game, it is highly unlikely that you'll see much of that unless there's a major injury or a big delay because of a card or any kind of issue. The biggest thing, as I mentioned, is when you read the rules, the thing they pay attention to the most is bench interaction. Like, you cannot leave the bench to come on because you're unhappy about a call, that type of thing. Here's a shot from distance. It actually hit the post and bounced back. So the best friend of Smits right there, Necaxa, looked like they were going to tie it, but the Smits uses the post to get the save, and now he'll take his time. That's another important part of the game. When he picks up that ball, he's got 5 seconds to get rid of it, according to the rules, or at least 5 seconds once he places it down and quickly get rid of it. So he clearly understands the rules. And that was another big discussion going on yesterday with all of the great work that the TST social media team did and the multiple media platforms where you could talk to the players of every team and hear from the leaders and the GMs, and that was making sure everybody understands the rules in this tournament, because it could make or break you as you vie for $1 million. SLC FC out of Canada with a 1-0 lead. Danielle Shamali with the goal for Canada from the penalty spot. Necaxa earning the whistle. This is Jesus Vena, number 20, and he'll get it back. Necaxa down 1-0. Trying to find that probing pass, goes across and cleared out of there by the team from Canada, SLC FC, representing Sports League Canada, the premier adult soccer league in the greater Toronto area. Sent far post, pretty good ball, dropped down. No problem for SLC FC, but they'll elect to knock it out of bounds. Good ball from Luis Robles. Take a look at some scores. Culture by Mo 2, Dallas United 1, Far East United and West Ham United 0s, Kingdom FC with a 2-1 lead. Final score, so they get the 3 points. 8 groups. We can tell you in Group A, Indiana already in the clubhouse with a win over Dortmund, and now Kingdom FC also in Group A with a win. So early doors, Hoosier Armor and Kingdom FC leading Group A. We saw in Group B, Villita beat the Wolves right here on Field 3. Group C features these two teams, as well as the team from Tel Aviv and the Virginia Dream. Here comes SLC FC. Scores and schedule on the ticker at the bottom of your YouTube/Peacock stream. As you see the games and the teams and the times. Times on the far right, followed all the way over. As Tel Aviv, who's also in this group with Necaxa and SLC, will take on the Virginia Dream in just a few moments. On a different field, obviously. Here is Necaxa. Good trap shot from distance, and no problem for the towering Smits. Good to talk to John Smits before the game. As I mentioned, he enjoyed his time with the Wilmington Hammerheads and made some visits here. They'll use Smits. Got pretty good feet. Likes to just bomb it long. No offside, so you can be wherever you want, and it'll be picked up by Necaxa. An early penalty kick called for an infraction inside the goal box, and then finished by Daniel Shamali, and it's 1-0. Again, scores, schedule, and times, rather, on the bottom of your screen for all 8 groups. Group A through H. First 8 letters of the alphabet, pretty easy, World Cup style. And this will come back to Necaxa. They trail 1-0 as there's about 6.5 minutes left here in the first half, 2 20-minute halves, and then the target score comes into play. So worth reminding you that after 40 minutes, the game is not over. Every game ends on a goal. Pretty neat format. And speaking of neat, it's worth mentioning that incredible ownership group. Real Madrid, Arsenal star Mesut Ozil, Germany, Eva Longoria, Sean Marion, big-time NBA star, Eva Longoria, an actor, Justin Verlander, big-time pitcher, now with the Mets, and his wife, supermodel Kate Upton. Not a bad ownership group. Necaxa. Pretty good weather here at WakeMed Soccer Park, shining bright on this historic event. TST is shot, and SLC FC has made it 2-0 as finished there neatly by SLC FC. The goal coming from Raheem Rose, and Raheem Rose has made it 2-0 for the team from Canada. Nice finish by Raheem Rose, who plays for Vaughan FC. And Raheem Rose, he's got the colorful hair going with the blonde look and the goal to back up the look. It's 2-0 with less than 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Culture by Mo Ali FC with the 2-1 lead. Again, as I mentioned, you've got viral influencers leading teams, which is really cool. Media personalities. You got Chad Ochocinco, big-time football player with the Bengals, among other teams, playing for the Natty program, which represents Cincinnati, and a lot of the players for Cincinnati that kind of helped create the power to join the MLS. A lot of those players that played on the USL will be featured in that game, and there's so many storylines like that mixed in that we'll try to bring you.
And fans on Field 4 in Group D action, we have just kicked off between Culture by Mo Ali FC and Dallas United. Once again, that's on
You can hear
Group 4.
the PA announcer talking about the fact that Dallas United and Culture by Mo Ali FC are underway right next to this field. We got all our eyes here on Field 3 to bring you this one, and the team from Canada, SLC FC, has been looking good here. As I mentioned, this team is made up of a lot of talent from the Canadian futsal national team. and League One Ontario, but players that have experience on the smaller sided fields, and we've already witnessed the difference that makes. So goals from Daniel Shamali and Raheem Rose. The difference right now for SLCFC, 2-0. SLCFC running downhill. Good work keeping it alive. And denied by Necaxa. Luis Robles, the goalkeeper for Necaxa, coming up big. SLCFC head coach Lorenzo Redwood. Good to see him before the game. And as I already told you, good to talk to John Smits. Really fired up about being here. Here's Smits going to pop it long with a 2-0 lead and less than 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. It's the TST, the soccer tournament, with $1 million on the line, winner take all. As we said, changing lives, and it was fascinating to hear even some of the superstars talk about what they were going to do with their share of the $1 million. A lot of them, to their credit, said, you know, they were posed with a question and said 2 words. A lot of them wrote down my wife, which is always a good choice, and that always works well at home. I felt like that was the majority. There were a few superstars that actually mentioned charity, which is notable and noble. Some were like younger guys, like, I want a car, and fair play. Here's another chance for the SLC FC team to take a 3-0 lead, but denied again by Robles as we have 1 minute remaining here in the first half. SLC FC on top of Club Necaxa 2-0 as part of our non-stop coverage of the TST all the way through Sunday, where we crown a champion on the main field. Main stadium. SLCFC, as good as they've been scoring the 2 goals, they've been even better defensively, holding this talented Necaxa team to no goals. Pitching a shutout is Smits, as came on the air. We don't normally highlight goalkeepers, but we felt like Smits was going to make a difference. To be fair, Robles has been challenged more, but Smits has managed the game really well back there. Robles, the goalkeeper for Necaxa. Smits for SLCFC. Here's SLCFC again. Early on, they got it in this position and earned that penalty kick and then added to it. Not a bad idea right there, but mishit, and that will be the whistle for the first half. So goals from Daniel Shamali and Raheem Rose are the difference, and the team from Canada, SLCFC, leads the team from Mexico, Club Necaxa, by a score of 2-0. Step aside and be back with coverage of the second half right here on this YouTube channel, courtesy of TST.
It's hot again.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like,
Sun's back out.
it's gonna be like bipolar weather.
Sun's out, guns out.
Fans, as you're enjoying the beautiful WakeMed Soccer Park complex, don't forget to stop by the Soccer.com merchandise tent. It's conveniently located near the entrance. There you can purchase all official TST and team apparel right on site. Once again, that's the Soccer.com merchandise tent. It's located near the entrance. Checking in on field 3, we're at halftime, where your score is SLC FC 2, Club Necaxa 0. Ongoing on Club 4, your score cultured by Mo Ali FC 2, Dallas United 0 in the 6th minute.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'll be back.
Checking in on field 3, fans. We are getting ready for the start of the second half between SLC FC and Club Necaxa. The score on field 3 at halftime, SLC FC 2, Club Necaxa 0.
That sun's out now.
Yeah? Yeah, full force now.
Checking in on field 4. In the 12th minute, your score, Culture by Mo Ali FC 2, Dallas United 0.
We welcome you back to our Field 3 coverage of the TST tournament, making history here in Cary, North Carolina for the first of what we hope will be an annual event, just like the great success of TBT. TST, $1 million on the line for the winner. 32 teams, 8 groups of 4. Top 2 teams from group play, which will finish tomorrow morning, will advance to the knockout stage, which will start tomorrow afternoon, leading us all the way to the final Sunday, which is already sold out. Great job by the leaders of TST and the production crew, volunteers, referees, everybody involved to pull this off. And shout out to all 32 teams for seeing the value of getting involved in this tournament. So exciting on multiple levels, including the fact that the U.S. women's team will also be featured with all female players. And they will play a team made up of HBCU members primarily, which is another great story, led by a couple great people out of Greensboro, North Carolina, not that far from WakeMed Soccer Park. Second half underway. Necaxa's got a little work to do here, trailing the team from Canada, SLC FC, by 2 goals, 2-0. As the man we highlighted in the open, John Smits, with the shutout right now. Necaxa in their familiar striped jerseys, white and red. And SLC FC in their straight red with the dark black shorts. Necaxa, patient at the moment, checking it back.
Fans, as a reminder, TST will be using target.
Nifty little move by Necaxa and read perfectly by Smith, protecting the near post. Well done. Earlier right here on field 3, the Yita FC with an impressive win over the Wolves out of England, a legendary program that's been around 150 years. But like I said, going into that game, the team primarily based out of San Diego with a lot of Massel players, MASL, looked really good. And I feel like there'd be a team that can make a lot of noise in this TST. Necaxa pulls one back, and a finish there beats Smits. And almost a bit of a toe poke goal coming for Baez. And we highlighted Baez in the open, and we're doing all right as Baez pulls one back for Necaxa. Javier Baez played for Guadalajara, Cruz Azul, Necaxa from 2016 to 18, and spent time in the States with Austin Bold from the USL 2019 to 21. And Baez pulls one back and does it in short order here to start the second half. We got a good one, 2-1. You see Far East United with a 3-0 lead over West Ham. Culture by Mo Ali FC 2-0. Tel Aviv and Virginia Dream just getting things rolling on field 5. 3, 4, and 5 are down below fields 1 and 2, which are center stage. WakeMed Soccer Park, the home to the North Carolina Courage and North Carolina FC, and home to multiple NCAA championships. This one punched through and picked up by the big man Smits. 2-1. Got a whistle. In Group A, Indiana knocking off Dortmund, and in Group B, we saw the Yita already get a win. This is Group C getting rolling. Group D also getting rolling with Culture by Mo Ali FC and Dallas United, Far East United and West Ham United. Group E, Como 1907, Say Word FC, the U.S. Women, and the Wrexham Red Dragons. What a story they've been, as there's Shamal, who had the early goal. Group F, Jimmy Conrad and DeMarcus Beasley. Gracie FC, Hashtag United, and Chad Ochocinco's Natty SC. In Group H, Charlotte FC, Duke, with Duke alumni led by their head coach, John Kerr, North Carolina FC, and Raleigh Rebels FC. What a great group that is going to be, with 4 teams that will be very familiar with each other. And a lot of names I'll know as the longtime voice of the Carolina Railhawks and North Carolina FC. Necaxa. They pulled one back here with an early goal in the second half. It's 2-1. Alyssa Nichols is the referee. Called a penalty kick early against Necaxa, and SLC FC finished it. Take a 1-0 lead, added on. But Necaxa has pulled one back, courtesy of a goal from Javier Baez. Long ball, loose. Robles will play it out of the back. This tournament can't be done without great support from sponsors like Ally, Soccer.com, Aviation American Gin, all the great partners of the TST. I want to thank them for their contribution to pulling this off. Necaxa, a couple probing passes. See pretty good lines here from SLC FC. It's an opportunity here for Necaxa. Great back heel, cheeky play, gets it right back, tight quarters, squared, and nobody home there at the far edge of the goal box, so it'll go the other way for SLC FC. The counter is on and defended, knocked out of bounds. Big defensive play that'll lead to the kick-in. Again, no throw-ins in this 7v7 format, so ostensibly it's like having multiple corner kicks depending on how you want to use it. For the most part, we've just seen the kick-ins kind of work like a throw-in with short little 5-6 yard passes. There's no messing about. There's kind of a, it's not like death if you don't get things done in 5 seconds, but there is a priority on keeping things moving after any kind of whistle. And there is a foul right there from Necaxa, and this will be a dangerous opportunity for SLC FC. And it's the goal scorer, Raheem Rose, who has what is the leading goal right now. You'll never hear me say the game-winning goal, because all game-winning goals will end the games. Alyssa Nichols will set the line. It's only 5, so it's a little bit tighter. This is El Shanti, and El Shanti will drop it. Always require that indirect, that extra pass as part of the rules. Little back heel, nobody home, one back by Necaxa. So Necaxa survives a dangerous opportunity, as it looked like SLC FC was going to add to their 2-1 lead. Canada and Mexico represented here on Field 3 as part of the 32-team field of the TST, the soccer tournament. You see it loud and proud on the middle of the field, and even better right across the middle of your screen there a moment ago. Necaxa with those striped jerseys. Keep an eye on the SLC FC defense. They are set up in a zone, and when Necaxa is getting the ball in and around the goal box, the lines are really good for the team from Canada, which has just a 1-goal lead. There's Robles directing traffic for Necaxa, the goalie. SLC FC is clearly one of the man of the matches. Raheem Rose, dangerous again. Raheem Rose, who is with Vollen FC. Necaxa. Club Necaxa is, wanted to say the name of Paulo Chavez. Have not seen a ton of him. Great fame with Chivas, one of the legendary programs in the top league of Mexico, and another team that has brought their talents to WakeMed Soccer Park to take on the full team, either the Carolina Railhawks, as they were formerly named, or now North Carolina FC, led by their owner Steve Malik and their president Kirk Johnson. They have a team as well in this 32-team TSC. They'll be coached by Dewan Bader, former assistant coach, longtime staff coach for NCFC, former NC State star, and a whistle earned. And South Necaxa will have their own dangerous opportunity just outside of the goal box. So the wall is set, only 5 feet away. 5 yards, rather. It looks more like 5 feet as it goes right into the two-man wall. Oh, wow, and a hammer of a goal. It has got to be the goals of the day so far, at least on field 3. It went off the wall and then was absolutely nailed as Necaxa has tied it here, down 2-0. They come out in the second half and they scored 2 goals. Waiting to get the number, we'll ask Ann Hannah, our producer, and the next opportunity to try to zoom in on the young man that absolutely hammered that home. He's currently playing at the left back spot as SLC FC looking for the answer as they've surrendered their 2-0 lead. So what a hammer by Necaxa. The player who scored is almost near the far corner flag, and we are looking to identify him. I am not located on the field as we are in one of the studios here for TST. On site, though, so it's great to be here on site. And this is the man who scored the goal, gets a little touch on it, gives it up. A rocket of a goal to tie it at 2-2. All right, so Necaxa, we now have confirmed it's Luis Espinoza. I want to thank Ann Hannah, our producer, and our great crew for tracking down. As with those stripes on the jerseys, not exactly easy to identify, but certainly a goal worth identifying, as Luis Espinoza with a long-distance rocket shot has made it 2-2.
West Ham United FC 1. They are in target score time. And that is on Stadium Field 2.
So Luis Espinoza, remember that goal if Necaxa wins this, as they're now looking for the third goal. There's Smits defending the near post. It'll be a corner kick for Necaxa, as Necaxa has looked really sharp here in the second half, including that bomb from Espinoza. Don't forget, it's target scoring. What do we mean by that? Well, after 40 minutes, the game is not over. So right now, if the game would end, the target would be 3. So the first team to 3 wins it. If, for instance, Necaxa got 3 straight goals here in the second half and it was 3-2, the target would be 4. And that would give SLC a chance to score 2 and come back and win the game. Every game ends on a goal. It is just fantastic. And if you love soccer, you love goals, and who doesn't love walk-off winners, golden goals, and that's what the TST is all about as they chase down that $1 million prize. You're seeing scores on the bottom of your screen. We called that game Villita, the little village, from area out of San Diego. Blade and Grass, Jeff Cameron's team, with a win over AJ De La Garza's team 3-2. Kingdom FC beating Newtown Pride FC. Knocked out of bounds off of Necaxa, and I believe that's Espinoza who had that rocket shot on the far side. Kind of free-flowing substitution. The only requirement is the player coming off needs to get both feet off before the player enters in, but other than that, it's, you know, very much like hockey where you can make quick subs and it's not a big production, which I think increases the value of this game. No delays. It's all about soccer. Who doesn't love that? There's Necaxa. Good work by Necaxa. Far side comes across, and it looked like it crossed the line. Necaxa did. It looked like it, but it didn't, as there's really no doubt and not much argument either, but no doubt from the referee, Alyssa Nichols. Shot from distance, denied by Smits. The rebound, no, and 3 in a row for Necaxa. They have answered the call, answered the bell. A big-time save from Smits. And then the finish for Necaxa. Well done by number 7 for Necaxa, Jorge Pineda. And Pineda is going to get subbed off as Pineda has made it 3-2 with 3 unanswered here in the second half. Pineda, who has spent time, of course, with Necaxa, also played with Lyon and some other international teams, a well-traveled veteran who looks like he's ready for it. He was fiery. He was the one kind of upset about the call outside the 18 on that dangerous opportunity earlier for SLC, FC, and Raheem Rose. And that fire led to what is now the go-ahead goal, and right now would set the target at 4 as part of the target score that we keep talking about. Back across again, and Smits, who pitched a shutout in the first half, has picked 3 out of the net as Necaxa comes storming back to take a 3-2 lead. We'll see how the team from Canada responds, as they were really sharp in the first half. Scores on the top of your screen. Far East United leading West Ham United 3-1. Boy, West Ham United, watched them train yesterday. They look like giants out there. Culture by Mo Ali FC with a 2-0 lead over Dallas United, and Tel Aviv on top of the Virginia Dream by a score of 2-0. You can see Field 1 has already set their target score, so if Far East can get that one, they'll have it and get the win. SLCFC from Canada had that 2-0 lead, have surrendered 3 to Necaxa. And Necaxa, out of the top league in Mexico, has come back in impressive fashion. Omar Marzouk, the player you just saw right there for SLCFC. Picked off by Necaxa. They'll use Robles. And Robles, the goalie, will send it long. Kind of a 1v1 battle there. One initially by SLCFC, but second ball won by Necaxa. And Necaxa will earn the kick in. You're seeing the crowd start to fill in and around WakeMed Soccer Park. 3 fields here on the lower part, and then right above us, 2 fields at the main stadium. So everything really in close proximity. They've got a cool little area for food trucks and sponsor village, and then just right outside the stadium, they've got 32 kind of little huts for the teams as well to secure their stuff. Just every detail in play here is part of what it takes to put this together, with big timers coming from all over the world. And not just big timers on the field, big timers leading this TST, the management team. Pretty cool. An honor to be a part of it, and an honor to be with you as we're making history here in Cary, North Carolina. Sunday will be just incredible. Can you imagine being the person who scores the goal to win your team a $1 million that'll be chopped up amongst the team members and crew? Just incredible. Necaxa has dominated the second half, and they earn another free kick. Raheem Rose not too happy about that. Again, you see the scores on top of your screen. You see the schedule on the bottom of your screen. Necaxa trying to keep it alive, and they earn a corner kick. Good hustle by Necaxa, not giving up on that opportunity. And with a 1-goal lead, they've got a chance here in the final minute to move the target score to 5 if they can put one in here, which would be huge, because it would be 2 away from SLCFC. Big difference. Good ball in. Well played, and it looked like a play that they worked on in practice, but SLCFC feeling that urgency. But because of the target score and being only down 1, knowing you've got to score 1 anyway to win it. If you score 1 in target score time, you tie it, and you got a chance to then win it. So keep yourself within 1 goal, and you're feeling pretty good about your scenario. And it's pretty much a toss-up in my opinion, although Necaxa has had all the momentum. We have played the 40 minutes, and the target score is 4. As they'll talk it over, and they'll be right back out there. They'll flip the coin to see who gets the ball to start. If Necaxa scores, they win it. If SLCFC can score 2 in a row, they win it. It's the end of the second half. The target score is set at 4. You see it in bright red on your YouTube screen, courtesy of TST. It's the leading team score +1. The first to target score wins. And if they play 5 minutes and nobody scores, they'll take off a player. 5 more minutes, they'll take off another player. And as I've said several times, if it means we need to go to 1v1, they will do it to find a winner with the target score time situation for each and every game, including the championship game. While we wait to get the target score part set, I can tell you that right here on field 3, around 12:15, that's where it was slated. It's kind of very fluid, as you can imagine, when you've got 32 teams. But Clint Dempsey, who really was a key player, along with some of the other great names that I've already mentioned, of getting this together. And Clint Dempsey, arguably one of the best ever wear the USA. He's in the discussion with Landon Donovan and now Christian Pulisic and Claudio Reyna, Tab Ramos, a lot of greats. But Clint Dempsey, a lot of people have him 1 or 2 all-time greats. He's got a team loaded with some superstars. We'll take on a team from Tennessee, the Jackson Boom. That'll be here around 12:15. All right, Alyssa Nichols is ready to roll. And looks like they had the coin flip, and it looks like the team from Canada will have it. Target score is 4. SLCFC scored the first 2 of the game, and we're looking really good, representing Sports League Canada, which is the premier adult soccer league in the greater Toronto area. They had a 2-0 lead at half, but Club Necaxa came storming back with 3 unanswered in the second half. SLCFC, and a little push, and they'll have a dangerous free kick opportunity just outside the goal box. Necaxa not happy with the call, but I think it's fair. A little bit of push, as you see Castillo trying to set the mark. I want to thank Mr. Castillo. He was great at breaking down the team for me yesterday. 2-man wall. SLCFC with the left foot, not on target. Robles will let it roll out. Necaxa, if they score, they win it. SLCFC, they need to score and then score again. First one to 4. I know you all get it. And a foul called again against Necaxa. So SLC FC. This roster consisting of some of the best talent from the Canadian futsal national team and League One Ontario. Good turn. Decent idea on the square, and arguably the best player so far, Raheem Rose, has been extremely dangerous for SLC FC.
Score update from Stadium Field 2. It was Far East United beating West Ham United FC 4-2.
Target score is 4. We'll try to, we don't have the clock up there, but we'll try to keep an eye on the 5 minutes when they pull players off and see if they've done that. Eventually it'll be 6v6 if we don't see a goal here pretty soon. We're pretty close to that 5-minute mark. Another foul from Necaxa. Necaxa's got to be careful with tossing the ball real high like that. That could have merited a yellow card. We've certainly seen it called before. SLC FC, so good in the first half. Necaxa with all the answers in the second half. Now on target score time. SLC FC will earn a corner kick. Corner kick for the team from Canada.
It's Club Necaxa 3, SLC FC 2. Fans there in target score time.
Target score time here on field 3. SLC FC looking for the equalizer. Good chance here. Back to the left foot and denied by 2 Necaxa defenders, as Necaxa has been on lockdown here in the second half, rolling into target score time. Far East United hit their target score to knock off West Ham United. They get the win. Field 4, Culture by Mo Ali FC still holding Dallas United scoreless, and Tel Aviv at halftime with a comfortable 3-0 lead over the Virginia Dream.
Fans, if you're just joining us, welcome. A quick reminder on the TST rules, which are as follows. There is no slide tackling, no offsides. We play 2 20-minute halves.
So we are still 7v7. We'll keep an eye together with you on when those 5 minutes are and they start pulling players off, which will make the field even bigger for 6v6 on down to 5v5. SLC FC got 2 in the first half. Necaxa from the top league in Mexico, 3 in the second half, and they are just a goal away from winning. 8 groups. Top 2 teams from all 8 groups advance to the knockout stage, which begin tomorrow afternoon right here at WakeMed Soccer Park. Each of these teams will play 2 of their first round games today, their final first round game in the morning, and then they'll roll right into the knockout stage, leading to Saturday's festivities and then the championship game on Sunday. SLC FC. Okay, so now there it is. So there's the signal. Great job by our production crew here. You saw the signal right there saying, all right, 1 player off, 1 player off. So we wondered how we would see it, and we just saw it right there. It came with a whistle, 1 off, and now they're at 6v6. How cool is this? A lot more space out there, a lot more freedom. Let's see if the team from Canada can respond. Good idea, but That's not going to challenge Robles as it goes deep behind the goal, and now Necaxa will try to build it out of the back. Luis Robles, the goalkeeper for Club Necaxa. Back across. We mentioned that the U.S. women, led by Heather O'Reilly, putting it together, an all-women team, but there are other teams. A.J. De La Garza team had Lauren Sesselman, a famous Canadian player, played at Purdue. And Club Necaxa actually has Paulina Castro-Leon. I don't think she's been in, but she was ready to go, and I talked to her before the game. She said she was hoping to get in. Looks like Necaxa is ready to make 3 changes, and looks like SLC FC also ready to make maybe 4 changes. So a fresh team here with the target score on the line, and it down to 6v6 now. Those of you tuning in late wondering why it's 6v6, well, during target score, you go 5 minutes. If you don't get to the target score, they start removing players every subsequent 5 minutes. So they've done it once already, and we'll do it again if we don't find a goal here in this second 5 minutes. Good drop off, just a little bit too late, and not enough mustard on it, as Raheem Rose had drawn the Necaxa player over. They try to find Rose, and it's won back again by Necaxa. You can see a little bit of frustration by SLCFC. They need to stay focused here, as Necaxa 1 goal away from putting this one away. That one was squared across by Michelle Garcia. So once again, you see Far East hit their target score. They get the win. Culture by Mo up 2-0 and Tel Aviv up 3-0. You see Duke Sevens and Raleigh Rebels at 2:15. Dortmund already falling to the Hoosier Army 5-2. Pretty much every player on that Indiana team has either won a national championship or played in a college cup or a national championship game. That's how good that program's been. Necaxa defending now, knowing they need just 1 to win. SLCFC trying to get 1 back. You can see just by taking 1 player off, there's a lot more freedom out there, but again, not dangerous. And Robles, and it's important to know the referees because they'll play a key role on these 5-minute switches, as we will keep going until we hit the target of 4. Simple as that. 1 back by SLCFC, and then 1 back by Necaxa. They'll have the kick in right at midfield, right over near the 4th or the assistant referee table, commonly known as the 4th officials table at 11v11. Robles, you can see a little wind right there, the U.S. flag, but pretty pleasant day here in Cary, North Carolina, and only fitting that it would be pleasant for this historic day, the launch of the TST. $1 million winner-take-all prize. That would be special. We'll see how special it is on Sunday. Necaxa. And they were looking for the penalty kick. Now, there it is again. So here we go. We've gone another 5 minutes. So now we're at 5v5. And I'm reminding you that if it takes getting to 1v1, that's exactly how it'll play out. And that'll make for some exciting, quote, television for sure. We are now down to 5v5. Look how wide open it is. This is so fascinating. Now a whistle called against Necaxa. Ooh, a little bit of shove right there, and that could lead to a card. That was a little bit unnecessary. It will. Well done by Alyssa Nichols. A little bit unnecessary, as coming in there late was Gogarty, Daniel Gogarty, number 2. He'll get the yellow card. They will keep track of yellows. So the team from Canada. Gogarty, who spent time with the York Lions and currently with Toronto FC2, at least was last year. We're down to 5v5 here in target score time, with the target score of 4 to find the winner. Started 7v7. They've gone 5 minutes, went 6v6. They've gone another 5 minutes. We're at 5v5. And now the team from Canada trying to tie it, and they have. And now it's all even, folks, and it's anybody's ball game, which makes this just really incredible and part of the draw to why we're all here, let alone the celebrities and the international powers and the U.S. women and the local teams and Canada and Mexico represented in this game. So SLCFC, with the target score set at 4, trailed by 1. They've now pulled it even at 5v5. And if we need to, we'll go to 4v4 to find the winner. It's 3-3. Club Necaxa in the striped jerseys and on the ball. Out of Mexico, SLCFC out of Canada. They led it 2-0, the SLC team. Necaxa came back with 3 goals, as Robles did not allow any goal in the second half, but just allowed that equalizer. Necaxa now with a little bit of freedom, denied. At 5v5, it's wide open. And then, you know, at 1v1, of course, you'll see the, I would guess, you'll see the goalies head off and have 2 attacking players out there, I would think. It'd be interesting how that shapes out if we get to that point. I kind of hope we do. I know that makes for longer games, but the drama is awesome. Next goal wins. Target time. TST special here. Mexico and Canada, which, along with the U.S., will host the 2026 World Cup. So another nice tie-in here. Next goal wins, as Robles will head back. This is massive. You think about what it means to win that first game and get those 3 points. You know, you lose this game, it's not like you're out of it, but man, history has told us winning that first game is so important for so many reasons. Certainly changes the dynamic of the second game. Good work. And Robles comes sliding out. No sliding tackles, but of course the goalies can slide to retrieve the ball. And it's interesting that I'm now getting back to the sliding tackles. I talked about it in the first game, and credit to both these teams. We have not seen a single one, and we thought maybe just out of impulse. You see the substitution right there, free substitutions as the player crossed out. Necaxa making a change. Here's Robles, going to come forward, and now he's got to be careful and get back. Next goal wins it. Denied there. Let's see what the team from Canada can do on the counter. Played into space, one-on-one with a chance to win it. They do a banger, and SLCFC has beat Necaxa. A banger of a goal from Daniel Gogarty. He got the yellow card, and he got the game winner. They needed 2. They get 2, and SLCFC at 5v5. Daniel Gogarty celebrates a win, as this one went 15 minutes into target time, 5v5, and Daniel Gogarty bringing the emotion and the game winner. Your final score here on Field 3, SLCFC 4, Club Necaxa 3. We'll see you back here right around 12:15. Check social media to make sure for Team Dempsey and Jackson Boom. Congratulations, though, to SLCFC. They led it 2-0, gave up 3 goals, needed 2 in target time. They get it, including the game winner from Daniel Gogarty. Once again, your final score, SLCFC 4, Club Necaxa 3.
You're watching group stage action of the soccer tournament Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. This is a 32-team event with the top 2 teams from each group advancing to our 16-team knockout tournament. Each of today's teams finds itself just 7 wins away from $1 million. Over on field 4, we are in target score time. The target score of 3. Your score, Culture by Mo Ali FC 2, Dallas United 3. First team to score 3 goals wins. That is over on field 4. On field 5, into the first half, it's Hapoel Tel Aviv FC 4, Virginia Dream 0. Fans looking at some upcoming TST action. At approximately 12:15 on field 3 in a Group G matchup, it's going to be Team Dempsey taking on Jackson Boone. Kickoff is approximately 12:15 on field 3. Once again in a Group G matchup, that's going to be Team Dempsey taking on Jackson Boone. Fans over on field 5, we have a Virginia Dream goal scored by Logan Pancho on a penalty kick goal in the 32nd minute. Your score on field 5, Hapoel Tel Aviv FC 4, Virginia Dream 1. On field 4, we're in target score time between Culture by Mo Ali FC and Dallas United. Target score for that matchup is 3. Culture leading 2-0 over Dallas United. That is on field 4. On Stadium Field 1, it's the U.S. women taking on Sayward FC. Moments from kickoff, again, that's Stadium Field 1, Group E matchup. U.S. women taking on Sayward FC. Culture by Morale FC 2, Dallas United 0. They're in target score time. A target score of 3. We're 6 on 6 into target score time on field 4 between Culture by Morale FC and Dallas United. On field 5, in the second half, it's Hapoel Tel Aviv FC 4, Virginia Dream 1. Once again, that's in the second half on field 5.